The following program contains views that are not those of WVTC, iNetworks Communications, their subsidiaries, affiliates, or financial supporters.
Winning victory through Christ, WVTC Allsip Chicago, an iNetworks communication station.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to another George Namho radio show. Again, today I got another phenomenal guest. You know, this is voting season. The time to get out there and cast that vote, click that ballot, and get people elected that have the call to do the action of public service. So this morning, without further ado, I have Mable Taylor, and she's running for Cook County Judge. And thank you, Ms. Taylor, for being on the George Namho radio show. How are you doing today?
Fine, and thanks for having me.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So let's dig right into it. So you're running for Cook County Judge of the Circuit Court. Tell us how you got here. Give us a little bit of background of how your journey began to get you here.
Okay, my journey began. I'm a lifelong resident of Cook County. I'm a graduate of Roosevelt University. Graduated from DePaul's Law School.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, and I've been practicing law now for over 27 years, including not only Cook County, but my practice covers many of the other surrounding counties like Wheaton, Champaign, Maduga, Lake Cook. There's a very few areas of law that my practice has not touched. I give back a lot to the community, and I believe that's important. It's important not only to be practicing law, but to practice assisting the community in a lot of their issues. I'm also a adjunct professor. I used to teach at Malcolm X and Roosevelt University. And one of the things I was proud of most is when I was at Malcolm X, I started the first computer literacy program where I actually assisted seniors in learning how to be introduced to the computers for the first time.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So based on what I heard you say, you have a heart to serve the people.
That is correct.
So being a professor, again, a lawyer for many years, serving in the community, you said something that was interesting. So give me your takeaway on technology and courtship, or technology in the legal system. What does that look like?
Well, I mean, it's challenging. It's challenging to some attorneys, and it's challenging to people who have to use it. But because of the pandemic and because of technology, they're telling a lot of the litigants now that you have to be somewhat, well, they do have people down there that can assist people that need help with technology, but it's almost requiring them to know a little bit about computers.
Right. Excellent. Excellent. So when you get on the bench as judge, what are some of the changes that you would like to see as you take your next step in leadership in the courtroom? What does that look like?
Well, again, as a judge, I mean, I don't necessarily take leadership in the courtroom because that's all done by the Chief Judge, Timothy Evans. He formulates what's best for the judicial system in Cook County. So what I have to do is follow whatever his orders dictates, and we have in the court standing orders. They send us standing orders saying, here's a standing order. If you in probate, this is what has to be done. If you in divorce, this is what has to be done. If you in criminal cases, this is what has to be done. So basically, I'm following the orders of the chief judge. And in the courtroom, in my courtroom, I would do whatever I can because I understand is challenging. Where if a litigant, especially a senior or any litigant, is having problems with getting things done, try to have some type of independent resources where maybe if I know attorneys that can assist them with their case. I cannot assist them as a judge, but I can have resources available that I can refer them to say, well, here's some volunteer attorneys that you can go to and they can assist you in preparing the case. So let me give you this list, come back after you've spoken to them, and then have somebody help you prepare, because a lot of times litigants are not aware of what it is they need to do. And if you come in not prepared and the other side is, then that could be to your detriment. So I would try to make sure, especially dealing with seniors and other pro se litigants, is to try to make sure before they start trying to present them cases themselves, they at least competently do it by getting some legal assistance. And I'll try my best in my courtroom to give them whatever referrals that I have so that they can do that.
Excellent. You said a lot there, because see, I've asked that question before, again, as judge in your courtroom, and immediately what you said is, see, you went to the order of leadership. There's a rule and there's a way of doing things. And so that shows, again, your character of excellence. And so that was very well put together, well spoken, because you showed the people watching the show and listening to the show that, again, stuff is done in decency and order. And if you're not properly prepared, again, the outcome might not be to your favor. Let me ask you this question. How do you feel about somebody who says, man, what am I voting for? Voting doesn't matter. In the legal system, XYZ happened. Again, my cousin got locked up. They don't care about us. What would you say to that voter that's on the fence about going out on June 28th and voting?
Well, Juneteenth and everything else and everything in my life has taught me, we've had people who fought and died for this right. I mean, it's not a right to be taken slightly, because the judges will affect somebody that you know in your lifetime. And you want to make sure that is the best outcome. It may not be you, but it could be somebody close to you. It matters who wears the robe. It matters so that we have competent people, but we have people who are involved. I mean, one of the things I did not mention that I've been involved with my church, Keystone Baptist Church, for over 40 years. I'm a member of the board there. So we help, make decisions. So I understand, come from a moral viewpoint that there are certain things that needs to be done on the bench, things that we should consider. So I just bring all that to bear, but it's just so important. We just can't take it lightly. This is some people just assume that it doesn't matter because I don't vote. It does matter.
Right. And it matters in a mighty way, because as you said, people die for the right to do it. And so when we look at judges and any politician and people that are in office, our communities look like they look because you didn't show up. And so I like to give people the charge all the time is show up and let your voice be heard. Make a difference. Don't talk about what didn't happen. Be the solution. Give me 2 takeaways you'd like to leave with the viewers of this show. 2 takeaways, Judge.
Okay. Well, the first takeaway to say is that it's important that you go out and vote. Diversity matters. The judges affects people's lives every day people. They affect people's lives. And it's important to have judges that are competent, qualified, but they have to have compassion, and they need to bring, as I do, I've grown up in the city of Chicago, and I bring my life experiences to the bench. And that's important, because my eyes, they say he that has ear, let him hear. He that has eye, let him see. Amen.
Preacher, Judge, you're preaching now.
I can see that, this does, certain situations, it doesn't add up. And I know I bring my life experience to say, no, hold that person to that burden. There's a burden of proof in most cases, and that has to be substantiated each and every time. I don't just cursory just would bypass that.
Right. Excellent. So how do we vote for you, Judge? Again, June 28th. We want to get out there and vote for Mable Taylor.
Mable Taylor. My motto is tailor-made for justice. My punch number is 169. And if you vote for me, you'll be doing just fine.
Excellent job. Thank you for being on the George Namho Radio Show. Now we're going to hear a promo from Judge Mable Taylor.
Taylor has been a trial attorney for over 27 years in Cook County and surrounding suburbs, fighting for justice for all. Her legal experience as a trial attorney includes both criminal and civil cases. Mable has been an arbitrator for Cook County Mandatory Arbitration Program for over 25 years. Mable's community service includes being a volunteer attorney for Chicago Legal Advocacy for incarcerated women and a volunteer attorney for the Cook County Foreclosure Mediation Program. Mable has volunteered for Citizens United and is a board member of the Keystone Baptist Church. Mable has been admitted to practice before the United States Supreme Court and is a member of the Federal Trial Bar. Mable has taught classes at various colleges and universities. Vote Mable Taylor on June 28th. Mable is tailor-made for justice. Punch 169 and you'll be fine. Paid for by Mable Taylor.
Excellent job. Again, you need to get out there, family, and vote, cast your vote, make it matter. But you see the candidates, and you see the candidate right in front of me, Mable Taylor for judge. Let's make it happen, and let's make a difference. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Family, this is your granddaughter in the community. Sing Your Talk with Clara Hubbard.